Welcome back to my channel. So I'd like to share with you from a Feng Shui practitioner's perspective just a little bit about spring cleaning and getting a real start on the great weather and refreshing your home from the long winter months. So the first thing about when you're talking about Feng Shui, one of the main principles about Feng Shui is that you really want to declutter. It's not just that you're trying to organize and straighten, but clutter has meaning. Clutter will absolutely distract you. It takes up healing energy. It blocks the circulation of life force energy within your home or your office, whatever environment that you're in. So when things are cluttered, you tend to feel closed in, and your thinking tends to be closed in as well. When you start to declutter, you feel as though you can breathe more easily, and you feel as though you can start to see options and solutions where perhaps options and solutions didn't exist before. So one of the main things when you're going to start to spring clean, again from a Feng Shui perspective, is let's deal with the clutter. So we all have stuff, and the thing is to understand the meaning of your stuff. So, you know, I've shared with you that my weight has gone up and gone down my entire life, and I can go into my closet at any given time and I can find clothes that either are too big for me or too small for me or are just right. So, you know, when you're taking a look at the things and you're trying to declutter your closet, you know, what the question is not so much is this outfit still in style, does this still fit me, but if I'm still holding on to it, why am I holding on to it? What's the meaning behind the stuff? So am I still trying to get back into, you know, a dress or a blouse from when I was in high school? Trust me, that's never happening. So, you know, and then I have to lean into, well, what's up with that and how ridiculous does that sound? And have that kind of, you know, insightful moment and say, no, time to let go. And in that letting go, and this is really the key piece about dealing with your clutter, in the letting go, you take away this stale energy that's being taken up and absorbed by all the stuff, and then you discard it, and what you do is you create not only a space but an invitation for new and refreshed energy to enter into your life. And that is the whole purpose of dealing with clutter, is to invite new and refreshed energy into your life, into your world, so that you can maximize, you know, your potential for happy living. So, big thing that you do want to understand is that Feng Shui is somewhat perpetual. You know, you may Feng Shui a room, and then 3 months later you're going to come back, or 2 months later you're going to come back, and you're going to say to yourself, oh, how did I not see this? And these are what we call energetic blind spots, that there could have been something broken or something that, you know, was, you know, something odd in the room, and literally you had a blind spot to it. And now that the room is less cluttered and you're inviting new and refreshed energy and a different point of view to come into your world, now you can start to shed a little light and start to focus on some of the blind spots that you've had in the past and address them as they come up. But when we're talking about dealing with clutter, I am not talking about going out to Target or going out any place to buy pretty boxes to stuff your clutter in it so that you can store your clutter in pretty boxes. That is not the point. The point of decluttering is to really purge. Again, let go so you can invite new and refreshed. So the last thing you're going to do is buy any, you know, wonderfully pretty boxes and say, okay, I'm just going to put it in here, I'm going to organize my stuff, and not release some of the stuff that no longer serves you. So for a real transcendental kick to the whole process of cleaning or decluttering, one of the things that you want to do is you want to put an intention on your actions. And those intentions are really powerful. So, you know, if you're in your bedroom and, you know, you're like, you know, I want to put the intention that I'm going to create an oasis for myself so I can have wonderful sleep, or it's going to be restful. If you're in your office and the intention is that you want to be able to think clearly, have good critical thinking skills, good relationship building skills with your colleagues, and also be able to work through all of your projects timely, and perhaps even add a little creativity to that, then that's the intention you put on your action when you are cleaning that space. If you're at a loss for any kind of transcendental intention to put on the space, Simply think out with the old and in with the new, and that will work. So, when you're working with energy, you have to be careful. So it's not an all or nothing type of thing. You have to do it in stages, because the environment of your home and the environment of your office has a direct correlation to your energy as well. Okay, so you don't want to completely gut a room on a weekend and change the room all over just because you have the time and maybe the energy to do that. If you do that, you could really start to deplete your immune system, and it could leave you vulnerable either to maybe catching a cold, feeling very run down and fatigued, or having something else as a consequence of just shuffling up the energy too much. So my recommendation is that you do it over a period of 9 days, over a period of 18 days, or over a period of 27 days. So that, when you're thinking about spring cleaning, you can kind of make a plan or a calendar for yourself. Now, why 9, 18, and 27? Because the number 9 in Feng Shui is very auspicious. It's a powerful number. And when you honor some of the Feng Shui principles, such as the number 9 and its multiples, you have an added energy boost or an added oomph to your effort. Okay, so plan to work on a room over 9 days or even over 27 days, but pace yourself so that you don't disrupt the life force energy in that room so much that you might put yourself in harm's way. So as you're going through your room, perhaps you want to start sorting things. I find that very helpful. So let me give you a list of things that you can sort. Things to throw out, things to be returned to their owner, things that you might want to keep exactly where they are. They are going to stay in this room. Things that you might want to keep elsewhere. You might be shopping this room and realize this lamp might look much better in another room. Things to be fixed. Now this is important because we all have the odd lamp, the odd something or other that sits in the room and it's broken. And that broken item, whatever it is, whether it's a drawer that doesn't close or a door that squeaks or a lamp that doesn't work, that can really deplete the energy of that space. So sort things out or make a list of things that need to be fixed, and we're going to be acting on that. And then there's always the things that you want to either pass on, give to charity, or throw out. And you shouldn't feel any guilt about throwing anything out, because everything is really energy and it's just going to be recycled in one form or another. So let's go to number 3 and how we're going to address the clutter. Number 1 principle, no storing clutter. We're actually going to purge. Number 2, at least for me, I like to put things in piles or make lists of things so that I can organize it a little bit better later on. Number 3 is you're going to clean your space with a citrus product. So anything that is lemon-based, lime-based, orange-based, citrus has a wonderful way of being able to cut through old, dead life force energy or chi. And it washes it away so that it eliminates that, and then it of course creates a space for new refreshed life force energy to come in. So this is a great time to use any of your citrus-based cleaning products or even some essential oils in some water that you might be using to clean the area. So the 4th step, now's the time to go ahead and purchase those boxes. And these, you can buy whatever nice storage boxes you want. You can create new shelves in your closet. You can do anything that's going to help you to organize your stuff, but you need to stay strong so that if you're starting to put things into boxes or you're starting to put things, more on storage shelves, that you're really looking at it, that do I really need this, or is this something that got past me the first time and I really need to purge it, this time. All right, stay strong. Really, if you're holding on to something, if you've had it and for a long time, and especially if it's not really functional in your life right now, let it go and create a space for something new to enter. Number 5, please resist storing anything under your bed. You don't want to put anything between you and your mattress and you while you're sleeping. When you store things under your bed, it blocks the healing force of Mother Earth when you are sleeping. So I know I live in a condo in New York City, so I understand that storage space is limited, but try to find or rework an area where you can store things without having being forced to store them under your bed. Number 6 is really follow through on those sorted items, that list that we made before. So make sure that anything that needed to be fixed does get fixed. Anything that needs to be discarded or donated, that all happens. You just don't want these piles of things sitting around, and now you're kind of working your life around these piles. And again, resisting trying to let go of anything. And then finally, as the finishing piece to this, really take a good look at that room. All right, what's the layout of that room? Is it time for the walls to be painted? Is it time for that chair that no one sits in to go? And maybe the working area or the flow of the room is a little bit better. Maybe it's time to move the couch, or maybe it's time to reposition the bed. But just take a look at that room with a critical eye. Again, you're looking to renew and refresh, and sometimes shifting the things around in a room can do just that for you. Make sure that nothing's blocking anything and that you have much better flow at the end of that process. So while you're in the mood to reorganize, don't forget your handbag, your briefcase, okay? Because I don't know about you, but the next handbag I carry is going to have wheels, because I just keep way too much in my handbag. But the whole idea here with this Feng Shui principle of letting go, or cleaning your handbag, other than the obvious reason, is just think of how depleting that is all day long. You're dragging this stuff with you. So if there's a reason for it to be in your handbag, by all means keep it, but keep it organized, and try to purge that handbag to the degree that you only have the essentials with you, and maybe just a couple of things for that just in case. And then lastly, I really want to talk about, what do you keep in your car? So there was a time when I was teaching that the back seat of my car was like my portable office space. I had more stuff in that back seat than you can imagine. But those days are past me. So the question becomes, how organized is the trunk of your car? What does the back seat of your car look like? And don't forget the glove compartment. So this is a really great time to, again, take a look at, what's essential, what's important, is anything broken there? You might find that you have something, to fix a spare tire, and quite honestly, it's outdated, or it didn't work. You threw it in the back of the trunk, and now's the time to let it go. So think of how much time you spend in your car. This is really important, because if you have a lot of dead energy from cluttered car space, or things that you don't necessarily use anymore, then every time you get in your car, you're leaving yourself wide open for that negative energy, that used up energy, to deplete you and deplete you and deplete you even more. So please, again, your glove compartment, the back seat of your car, and the all-important trunk, make sure that it's there. Everything for safety and for convenience is there. Maybe you need to buy some storage bins so that you can organize a few of your, the necessities that you do keep in your trunk, but purge and let go of the things that aren't really necessary. So as you're doing this, you really are going to come up against some resistance, especially, when it's time to get rid of the prom dress. And it was so funny, because years ago, one of my goddaughters said to me, "What is this?" And it was my prom dress from college. I think I was in my 50s when she was asking me this. So clearly, what was I holding on to? Or how come I never saw this thing hanging in my closet, taking up this space? So, different objects provoke different memories, and there are different sentiments and different emotions and different memories connected with most of the things that are around us. They all have varying degrees of importance. So when it comes time to, is it time to let it go, or finding the fortitude to finally let it go, you're going to bump up against some resistance. So be gentle with yourself. If you can't let it go right now, go to a different part of the room and circle back to that. But before you're done, let that piece go. This is a time when you need to wash your hands a lot, because some of that energy will get absorbed as you're going through your space onto your hands. So washing your hands all the way up to the elbow, maybe using a really nice scented soap, and maybe a little essential oil to help you stay focused and calm. Again, lemon is a good one for that, so that you're staying strong during this process, especially if you're finding that you are pushing back on letting go of items that you know in your heart you need to let go of. And at the end of it, I want you to think reward. Okay, so there are two major reward things for me. It's either going to be chocolate or it's going to be ice cream. So whatever your chocolate ice cream thing is, reward yourself at the end of this process, because you deserve it. you needed to stay strong, and you needed to really let go so that you could invite new and refreshed energy in. So I just want to leave you with a quick to-do list for the spring. Number one, unclog your drains, okay? The life force energy in your home, it circulates within your plumbing, okay? And it circulates in the external areas of your home as well. So one of the things is get something that's, not toxic, that's, environmentally friendly, but one night, the last thing before the house gets quiet and everybody goes to sleep, put the drain cleaner down and unclog those drains. Number two, fix any kind of leaky pipes. Water is a very important thing in Feng Shui. Water, when it's suddenly, if you have a sudden, leak or burst pipe or something, when water suddenly appears, when you don't want it to appear, it usually means that some type of prosperity or money is coming soon into your world. But the opposite is true if water is just repetitively leaking. So a drippy pipe or a leaky toilet or something along those lines with the plumbing will mean that money could be coming into the house, but it's going out of the house as quickly as it came in. The third thing is, I want you to try to keep your bathroom door closed, and if at all possible, the seat of the toilet down, because you don't want to mix waste energy with your living space. Again, that's a negative energy, and you don't want to mix it with your positive energy. So if keeping the toilet seat down is a real challenge in your world, then just keeping the bathroom door closed will do. So is this a time for you to change your light bulbs, maybe over to energy efficient light bulbs? Another, spring cleaning piece of the to-do list. You're going to remove any dead plants. Remember, dried plants are not positive energy. I know sometimes they're pretty, but they are not positive energy. Better to go with silk plants than dried plants. And if you have any plants that are really not healthy, it's time to let them go as well. You want to repair any appliances or electrical equipment that is in disrepair, making sure that you don't have that depleting energy in your space. Just a little bit of a hint, cleaning your windows and cleaning your mirrors can serve two purposes. One, the obvious of a good spring cleaning activity, but especially when you are a little confused and you're not sure what to do next, what are the next steps that I need to take, either cleaning your windows and the mirrors in your home will give you insight into helping you see what's next on your path and help you make the appropriate decision. And then lastly, you're going to finish up any projects. So if you are starting to paint that room or you're starting to put an accent wall of wallpaper, finish those things up and make sure that your spring cleaning to-do list is finished by the end of May.